Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most emotional The Owl House moments.
I feel like I should be used to this feeling by now, but I still don't know what to say.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most moving scenes from this show's brief but spectacular run. Attention all witches living in the human realm, major spoilers ahead. Which of these moments brought you to tears? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Ida's Requiem. Okay, let's start with the meaning of the word Requiem. It's a repose for the dead, which is pretty fitting given the damaging effects of Ida's song. She and Rain are fully willing to sacrifice themselves in this scene if it means taking down Emperor Bellows.
We may not make it out ourselves, but it'll stop the Emperor, right? Then we play on!
While Rain is often seen acting for the greater good, Ida has some other personal reasons for her passion this time around. With the expectation that both Luce and King will want to be with their real parents soon enough, Ida fears abandonment.
Do you have kids? They're not mine. Mine. Oh, it doesn't matter.
The mental state she's in seems to make self-sacrificing an easy choice, but luckily, Rain is the voice of reason. That doesn't stop them taking the hit to save Ida, of course, and now we're hurting all over again. Number 9. King learns the truth. From the moment King hit our screens, we began theorizing about his backstory. After a bit of fawning and squealing, that is.
Did you make all these? What are you?
His skull is strikingly reminiscent of the fallen Titan, and fans were right to link the two. King's backstory is rather tragic all around, and the truth was a lot to take in. In Echoes of the Past, Ida was finally honest with him about how and where she first found him, and his reaction to the whole thing is just heartbreaking.
King, it's gonna be okay.
You're all just making fun of me like usual, right? No. No. No!
Of course, the heartbreak didn't end there. Edge of the World only ripped King of any blind optimism he had left. The sight of him in tears is so much sadder than it has any right to be.
I want to go home.
Number 8. Ida's Curse.
You always thought you were better than me, that I could never beat you in anything.
I am better than you.
Then why were you so easy to curse?
What is a fantasy series without a little sibling betrayal? So much of Ida's arc is about her struggle with the Owl Beast and trying to bear her curse. It's hurt people before, including her father, an accident she never quite forgave herself for.
Have you even been able to carve a new talisman since I attacked you? Stop trying to forgive me. I don't deserve it.
It all comes to a head in Agony of a Witch when she's running out of magic and Luce needs saving. The decision is not a difficult one to make, and Ida's speech as she says goodbye to Luce is enough to make us hit pause on our screens.
Listen to me. I'm going away, and I don't know if I can bounce back this time. Watch over King. Remember to feed Hootie.
Please, no!
And Luce, thank you for being in my life.
Especially after Lilith's confession, emotions are running high all across the board in this scene. The aftermath is just as somber too, with how hopeful and unaware King and Hootie are. Number 7. Willow's mental health. After starting out as the underdog, Willow slowly but surely began to reinvent herself. She started a flyer derby team and would become as strong, resilient, fair, and loyal as any good captain should be.
Let's move, team. We need to find a replacement. After all, it'll be 52 weeks before Caleb's next day off.
Through tragedy and turmoil, Willow was always everyone's rock. But eventually, we started to see the cracks in the stone. Getting stuck in a different realm and watching your parents become puppet versions of themselves can do that to a person.
I can't control my own magic. I can't help my friends. Why have I been trying to be someone different?
This scene is a prime reminder that stuffing feelings down is not a good idea. Even as she's losing control, Willow still desperately clings to the narrative that everything is okay. Hunter and Gus ultimately help her through it, and it's incredibly touching to watch those walls finally come down.
You've been holding in a lot, haven't you? Willow! Reliable people need someone to rely on too. Just let it out. We'll be fine.
Number 6. Luce opens up. This is a quieter moment, but just as impactful as some of the bigger expressions of emotion.
This year, I'm not with her, and I don't have any flowers. And when you told me about the problem with your dad, I don't know. Maybe I was jealous or just needed a distraction.
From the very first time we got a glimpse of Luce's home life, it became clear her father was not in the picture. We weren't sure if we'd ever get a storyline delving into it, especially because, true to Luce's character, she never spent any time lamenting over loss.
I don't talk about this because it happened like a long time ago, and it's like totally not an issue anymore, but today's the anniversary of my dad passing away.
This episode affords a wonderful display of vulnerability from our protagonist as she finally opens up about her father's death. Watching optimistic characters break down is always difficult, and after this scene, Luce's video diary hits that much harder.
I think this might be the worst week ever. But Dad left me this book. I can't wait to read it.
Number 5. Luce's Promise. Finding out the daughter who came home to you is actually a basilisk from a different realm where your real daughter has been living for the last few months is a lot to take in. Finding out that your daughter willingly fled and chose to stay in that realm is a lot more to take in.
Were you trying to live out some witch fantasy? Did you hate living with me that much?
Camila holds up surprisingly well until the real Luce finally appears in the rain in front of her. Even if she's not really there, it's enough to create the semblance of reunion, and Camila's facade quickly crumbles.
I'm trying to hold it together. I really am, but I have never been this scared before. The demon realm? Magic? How are you gonna get back here? Is this the only way I can touch you?
It's a jumble of emotions as she finally reacts the way any parent would at the realization that they have no idea where their child is. And we're crying.
I didn't mean to push you away. I swear things will be different.
Mom, it's not you. It never was.
Promise me, Luz. Please.
Okay, Mom. I promise.
Number 4. Hunter's entire arc. How does one adopt a fictional character? Anyone have papers we can sign?
I can't go back.
Kid, breathe.
This poor boy's life is doused in tragedy. He is, of course, not well treated by his Uncle Belos in the first place, but then he comes to find out that he's been lied to his whole life, he's not on the right side of the fight, and he's not even a witch.
What did you do to the other guards? To our family? It wasn't wild magic, was it?
What a shame. Out of all the Grimwalkers, you looked the most like him.
Hollow Mind was a whirlwind of truth bombs for everyone, particularly Hunter, who was left, traumatized is probably the appropriate word here. As if he hadn't been through enough, just as Hunter is slowly working through everything and starting to turn over a new leaf, dear old uncle returns to literally take possession of his body.
I thought this one was another lost cause. Because of you, we can finish our work as witch hunters, starting with them!
Number 3. Luce's Sacrifice. This sequence is just stunning. We begin with the collector's backstory, which is emotional enough on its own as Luce helps him work out his feelings.
We know what it's like to feel alone.
And abandoned. And misunderstood. Hey, what if we showed you how we became friends?
The collector, as it turns out, is an exceptionally fast learner, and they apply Luce's advice maybe a little too eagerly. Luce takes the hit and, to the horror of King and Ida, dissipates into a cluster of beautiful little glyphs. These glyphs travel all the way to the archives, where a puppet-turned Camila seems to be able to sense the loss.
What is this?
It's an impressively moving scene, made even more so by everyone's reactions. And it all culminates in Luce finally meeting the Titan, which is also a remarkably poignant event.
No, King! What about King? Don't you want to say something to him? Oh, he'll love that.
Number 2. Flapjack's Death. Oh boy, get out your tissues for this one.
That's right. You wouldn't want me harming your precious palisman, would you? Oh, but then again, I don't care what you want.
Hunter had no one for a very long time, and then he had Flapjack. The series spent a good deal of time building their friendship, which is why it was unbelievably crushing when Flapjack was not only deathly injured, but injured at the hands of a possessed Hunter. The damage is so distressing that Hunter actually manages to break free from Belos's control.
I'd like to make sure you never hurt anyone again!
Things only worsen from there, and Flapjack, teetering on the edge of life, gives his own to save hunters. Everything about the scene is emotionally stirring, from the stellar voice acting to the gorgeous visuals. Thanks for breaking our hearts in super smooth animation, Dana. Just what we needed.
Is everyone else okay?
Actually, Flapjack.
Don't. I already know.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Ida's near petrification. This goodbye is especially high stakes.
No! Not yet!
I'm sorry.
Ah!
Goodbye, Luz.
Ida!
Lumity kiss. One of the happiest moments that had us in our feels.
Oh, crikey.
I can't believe I just did that.
I can't believe I just said that!
King's message. King wants to be a Clothorn, and it's just what Ida needed to hear.
Now we're connected for life, and there's nothing you can do about it!
Is that what you wanted to tell me this whole time?
And if you sign here, it'll be official.
Luz reunites with Ida and King. We can't imagine this kind of relief.
Is this real? Is that Luz? Are you both really here?
Get over here, you witch!
The nightmares. Their biggest fears playing out is so heart-wrenching.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Trapped in the Human Realm. Maybe it's because King's Tide is the climax of the entire series, but the whole episode feels supercharged with emotion.
Luz, come on! Everyone! Ida, I can't just leave them! Luz, please!
The Day of Unity is a whole devastating calamity on its own, but a lot of the heart-pulsing moments take place away from the Circle of Coven heads.
We're gonna have a blast, everyone! I think there's a way out!
Luz and her friends end up with no choice but to take refuge towards the portal, and Luz, ever the altruist, makes a desperate attempt to keep the portal open for them. She encourages them to leave her behind, but it's King who makes the ultimate sacrifice for his surrogate sister.
We gotta stick together. We gotta stick together.
I'm sorry. Not this time. But I can keep you safe.
We're already sobbing at his speech, but it's Luz's blind determination to get back to him at the end that really pushes us over the edge. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.